Hey, what's up guys, it's Texmer talking to you here, and today I wanna cover the iPhone 12 Pro Max in 2021. This iPhone was released in 2020 and it was one of the best sellers of Apple's 12 lineup. The best seller, of course, was the iPhone 12, but the iPhone 12 Pro Max also sold millions of units, being the second most sold phone in 2020. So I believe that the iPhone 12 Pro Max is still a very viable option in 2021 after the iPhone 13 release, of course, not before. And now that we are nearing the end of this year, I believe that you should look at the iPhone 12 Pro Max if you are a very specific type of customer. Because although I think that the iPhone 13 Pro Max, my personal phone right now, is an amazing buy, the iPhone 13 Pro Max is very expensive. While the iPhone 12 Pro Max now, you can get it at a discount. While it could be refurbished, second-handed, used, I don't know, but you can get it at a special, very special price. And I think that justifies it, the differences between the iPhone 12 Pro Max and 13 Pro Max for some people. But before I talk more about the iPhone 12 Pro Max's differences between the iPhone 12 Pro Max, 13 Pro Max, and who should buy which one, roll the intro. The iPhone 13 Pro Max is an amazing phone. Right now, it's 1 year and some months old, and I think that it's pretty good. It was released in October, so it makes it a pretty good buy right now. It has 3 cameras, just like the iPhone 13 Pro Max. It has the same design. It has probably the same colors, not mentioning the Pacific Blue, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max has the Sierra Blue. But the iPhone 12 Pro Max features amazing stuff. Let's start by the design.
3, 2, 1.
The design of the iPhone 12 Pro Max is the same as the iPhone 13 Pro Max, with one huge difference. It's lighter and thinner. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it's like more light. You can feel in your hand that it's lighter, it's thinner. You feel it's not as bulky as the iPhone 13 Pro Max, but it's pretty good. It also feels big, like the screen is big, the device feels big in your hand, and it feels heavy and premium. So the design, it's 99% the same as the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and if you buy one right now, it will feel like the new iPhone again. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max, for some people that don't have an iPhone 13 Pro Max still, or don't have the iPhone 12 Pro Max and are looking to upgrade from an old iPhone, they should consider buying an iPhone 12 Pro Max, because this phone, it's discounted, and so by around $800 to $900 you can get this phone right now. But there are 2 types of people that should look at this phone. One, the first person that doesn't care about 120 Hz or cameras. Then, if you do want the biggest screen possible, you don't care about the cameras or 120 Hz, buy the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's better than the iPhone 13 Pro Max because all of the things that you care about, which is performance, which is having a big screen, which is having Face ID, having the new design, well, the iPhone 12 Pro Max has all of those stuff, and they work the same as the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The differences being the iPhone 12 Pro Max has a worse battery and it has worse cameras, but not bad cameras. It has amazing cameras, but worse cameras than the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And of course, it doesn't have ProMotion 120 Hz display, which for some people is not a big thing. For me, it's a huge thing, but some people, they don't care, and so this is not a deal breaker for them, 120 Hz display. And that's why I believe that the iPhone 12 Pro Max has a still huge market right now. And so for the design, I think that if you go for the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the iPhone 12 Pro Max in 2021, it's very, very, very new still. It feels very premium, feels amazing. I love it. Just to hold it, it just feels like my iPhone 13 Pro Max. No differences there. So it feels a little bit thinner, on the thinner side, and so I think that the iPhone 12 Pro Max is still very beautiful. I love this color. I think that this phone is amazing, and if you want an iPhone 12 Pro Max because you want to save on the money side, you should get an iPhone 12 Pro Max and not be afraid about having an old design. Then we have the display. The display on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it's different than the iPhone 13 Pro Max because it's not 120 Hz ProMotion, right? High variable refresh rate display, and so it only refresh rates at 60 Hz, while the iPhone 13 Pro Max has an 120 Hz ProMotion display, which means that it can go down from 10 Hz to 120, saving battery life and giving you a high refresh rate display with 120 Hz, which is just buttery smooth. It feels amazing. It feels very, very smooth, very fluid, very fast, and it feels natural after a few months of use. And so I gotta tell you, going from the iPhone 13 Pro Max to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it just feels choppy. The display feels like it's very, very slow. It has some bugs, but But that's natural because I notice 120 hertz. But if you don't notice 120 hertz, I don't think that you should think and go, oh, maybe I don't notice 120 hertz, so I think I will go for the iPhone 13 Pro Max because people say that the 120 hertz is necessary. There's some people that they simply don't notice the 120 hertz or care. So I think that the iPhone 12 Pro Max is perfect for those people because 120 hertz, one of the things that you don't need because you don't care about it, then you get all of the things, or almost all of the things that the iPhone 13 Pro Max has, which right now is just a better camera, amazing camera, huge display, like big battery, amazing battery life. The iPhone 12 Pro Max has all of that, and it doesn't have 120 hertz, but it's $400 cheaper. So it's right now, it's a very good deal for people like that. They don't care about 120 hertz. But another thing that the display is also different is the brightness. This iPhone 12 Pro Max has 200 nits of brightness. So when you are outside with very, very sunny days, you can notice the differences between the two phones, but inside you can't even notice the differences between that and an iPhone 11. So a normal person probably doesn't notice the differences between these two displays. For me, I notice the brightness, I notice the high refresh rate display, so it's kind of a deal breaker, but the iPhone 13 Pro Max is just the best phone right now for me, so I cannot make those comparisons because it's just $400 more expensive than the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So in 2021, I still think that the iPhone 12 Pro Max is an amazing buy in terms of display. It has one of the best displays in terms of color, calibration, and color shift. So the iPhone 13 Pro Max in terms of specs, it only lacks in terms of display settings, which is 120 hertz. Other things like HDR, it's amazing. It's still very, very good. The display on this phone is still incredible. One of the things that you will notice is the notch. Of course, the iPhone 13 Pro Max and 13 lineup has smaller notches, but the differences between those two are just like Apple doesn't do anything with those, so you won't notice the difference. After a week, you will just not care. And you don't win anything by having a smaller notch. It's either no notch or give me a notch of some size. I don't care about the size of the notch. Just, you won't notice it. I have a notch on my MacBook Pro right now, which has the M1 Max, the new one, and I simply don't care about the notch. But I have a video on that computer. If you do care about the M1 Max MacBook Pro, I have a review 1 month later on my channel. Go check it out. It's right here. So I think you will like it if you love the new MacBook Pros. But back on track with this device. The iPhone 12 Pro Max still has one of the best displays on the market right now, although it doesn't have 120 Hz. So if you go for the iPhone 12 Pro Max, you will be satisfied with the display. Though, if you think that 120 Hz ProMotion display is a deal breaker, go for the iPhone 13 Pro. That is an amazing deal. It has the 120 Hz ProMotion display. The battery life now, with the improvements, is almost as good as this phone. You will only sacrifice on screen size, and you will get an even better camera, which is the same as the iPhone 13 Pro Max, better than the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So again, if you do care about 120 Hz ProMotion display, forget about this phone and go for the iPhone 13 Pro. But if you have the iPhone 12 Pro Max right now, you don't need to upgrade because of the display. That's simply not worth it. Let me tell you, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, just for the display, not worth it to upgrade. But if you like cameras and you love cameras, and you consider that your battery life is not as good as you would like and you need more, the iPhone 13 Pro Max is the amazing buy for you, even if you have the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Talking about batteries, like I was telling you, the iPhone 13 Pro Max has the best battery life ever on the phone. Like, it's just ridiculous. It lasts me 2 days now. I turned off 5G and it lasts like me 2 days easily, and using the phone very, very much. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max's battery will seem like bad when compared to the iPhone 13 Pro Max's. But the iPhone 12 Pro Max battery is insane too, because it lasts me 1 day and a half, almost 2 days. It doesn't last until the end of the second day, but it lasts me 1 day and a half, which is more than perfect because I only need my battery life to last 1 day. So again, I think that the iPhone 12 Pro Max battery is just too good to be true still in 2021. While the iPhone 12 Pro wasn't that good, the iPhone 12 Pro Max definitely was good enough. And so I think that if you have an iPhone 12 Pro Max or are considering getting an iPhone 12 Pro Max, it will be amazingly fine and amazingly surprised with amazing battery life on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. It's still amazing. I have a review on this channel where I talked about more about the iPhone 12 Pro Max's battery. You can go check it out. It's one of my most viewed videos, and I love this phone. Then I told you that this battery was the best I ever used. Now it's only topped by the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Finally, we get to performance. The performance of these two phones is literally the same. You can't notice any differences between those two because literally they have the A14, the A15. The A15, it's the same almost in terms of performance as the A14 with better efficiency. So in terms of performance, you will notice a big thing. One of the things that this enables is cinematic mode and ProRes. So the A15 only enables more modes on the camera, which is, let me tell you, like a big thing if you care about cameras. I will talk about cameras later, which is the biggest differences between these two phones. But the performance is always the same. Like you run iOS, it's just fluid, like you don't have any bugs or something. The games run very well. One thing that I have to note though, that this A14 chip gets this phone very hot, and so the display dims when you are playing very high intensive games like Genshin Impact. So if you love games, maybe the iPhone 13 Pro Max is better for you just because it doesn't get as hot, because the processor is way more efficient. So the iPhone 13 Pro Max A14, it will be amazingly good. It will have software upgrades probably 5 to 6 years up ahead. So no worries there. The performance between these two phones is very, very similar. Now we get to cameras. The cameras on these two phones are where the biggest differences lie, because Apple updated every single sensor on the iPhone 12 Pro Max to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now we have a bigger, better wide lens, a better telephoto which takes 3 times X, and now this only takes 2.5, and a way better ultra-wide camera, which is where the differences lie the most. The software side, where Apple upgraded to the cinematic mode and ProRes video, it's a big jump too. You have the cinematic mode, which is just incredible. Take a look at cinematic mode. I will change it to now. This is cinematic mode on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. As you can see, it's pretty good. It blurs my background. It's 1080p at 30 frames per second. Pretty good. I think that it works very well. You can see that if I point to this phone and I get it closer to the camera, it will focus on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. But get it back, get it down, it will focus on me again. And so I think that this camera mode, it's pretty fun to work with, and in these types of environments works very well. And you have ProRes. ProRes is also cool. Take a look at it too. And this is ProRes on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. It's 4K 30 and it works very well too. It brings more shadows, it brings more detail to the image. And so it's better than normal, but it weighs a lot. It's 10 gigabytes for 10 minutes. And gosh, it weighs and it takes a long time just to export. So again, it takes 10 gigabytes per minute. So it's very stupidly big. For example, 20-minute video, 121 gigabytes. It's just crazy, insane. A 1080p, 30 frames per second video would be better, but I like 4K. So this is ProRes. Take a look. Do you notice any differences? Well, this file just took me more size than the other entire video project. But again, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, it still records 4K 60, amazingly good video at 4K 60. It doesn't record portrait video just because of it doesn't have the A15 chip. It doesn't have photographic styles, but those are like gimmicks. The ProRes video and cinematic mode, those are not gimmicks, those are real deals. If you care about video, upgrade from the iPhone 12 Pro Max to the iPhone 13 Pro Max. But if you don't care about video, I mean, it's not worth it to buy the iPhone 13 Pro Max just because of that, because again, you will be fine with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Or if you have an iPhone 12 Pro Max and you are thinking of upgrading because you love video and you like film videos and put it on YouTube and run a YouTube channel just like me, it's worth it to upgrade. Trust me, I upgraded from the iPhone 12 Pro to the iPhone 12 Pro Max and then to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and I noticed a big jump from those phones. So let me tell you, in terms of cameras, big differences are night mode. The iPhone 13 Pro Max has bigger cameras which take more light, which enhance night mode. So these two phones, better night mode and way better videos. Camera shots, I mean, the algorithm of the iPhone 13 Pro Max is a little bit better, so the differences will be noticeable for someone that cares about photography and cares about good picture quality. But for a normal user like you and like a normal user, imagine a normal consumer that doesn't care about tech, those two will not notice the differences between these two camera phones. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max camera is still very capable in 2021. If you bought this phone or considering buying this phone, you will notice a big jump from your old iPhone. Even if you are coming like from an iPhone 11, you will notice the differences because the iPhone 12 Pro Max camera was just insanely good by its time. Although the iPhone 13 Pro Max is definitely better. And so that was it between these two phones. These two phones are very, very good, but I think that the iPhone 12 Pro Max is still worth it for some people. For example, for someone that doesn't care about cameras or display, this phone is a perfect buy because for around $800, $850, you can get an 128 gigabyte iPhone 12 Pro Max in somewhat good condition used, and it's just insanely good deal because we'll get an amazing battery life, an amazing camera, an amazing display, the new iPhone design, all of that by less money than the iPhone 12 Pro or the iPhone 13 Pro Max. And so I think that this phone is still an amazing deal in 2021, and it's an amazing Christmas gift if you want to give it to someone. Although you can get it refurbished if you are not comfortable buying it used by around $800 to $950 and still get an amazing, very good quality phone. And I would look for Apple refurbished, that now they have good deals there, and you can look for iPhone 12 Pro Max. I'm not certain if there's an iPhone 12 Pro Max right now in the store, but if you get one from there, let me tell you, it's a new phone. They repair everything, they leave it like a new phone. The only difference is between a new phone and a refurbished phone is the box. You will get every single accessory, which right now is just the lightning cable to USB-C and the phone. But if you're going to buy refurbished, not be afraid, go for Apple. It's an amazing experience. But again, if you are looking for the iPhone 12 Pro Max, you don't care about camera and display, this is an amazing deal. If you do care about camera and display, I would recommend you going for the iPhone 13 Pro, because if you have like a tight budget, you cannot spend more than $1,000, go for the 13 Pro. You will only lose on the 6.7 inch display to a 6.1. But if you do care about the size of the display, spend the extra $100, go for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. An amazing deal, best phone of the year for me. Like best battery life, best camera, best display, everything is the best on the iPhone 13 Pro Max. I have a review on my channel, go check it out. I love this phone so much, my best buy ever. Like, I couldn't be more happy with this phone. I don't think I want to upgrade next year, even if Apple brings an amazing phone also. I don't think I want to go for the trouble of upgrading, because everything I wanted on my iPhone and even more, which is amazing battery, amazing display, amazing cameras. Like, I can record everything I want to, and now I'm considering buying a dedicated camera. I'm considering buying a Fujifilm, and so for the next couple of months I will use this phone, but when I'm ready for upgrade, I want to upgrade for a camera, not a phone. So the iPhone 13 Pro Max is an amazing phone. I love it so much. I love this Sierra blue color, and I think that is an amazing buy in 2021. If you do care about your camera and display, go for the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Consider leaving this phone behind, because although it's a very good phone, it still lacks big flashy features just like 120 Hz and an ultra wide or macro camera. An ultra wide, what I'm saying this is like the ultra wide on this camera sucks. It's bad compared to the other cameras, while the iPhone 13 Pro Max cameras in terms of ultra wide and wide, those are pretty similar. The ultra wide is very good on the iPhone 13 Pro Max, and the macro photography makes the differences. So if you are considering the iPhone 12 Pro Max in 2021, consider it, but take in mind that it does miss some features, just like the 120 Hz display, and of course the cinematic mode, ProRes, all of those stuff. It's very important. But what do you thought about the iPhone 12 Pro Max? Do you have an iPhone 12 Pro Max? Are you buying an iPhone 12 Pro Max in Christmas time? Or are you just going to skip it and get the iPhone 13 Pro Max on the way? What's your thoughts? Leave them in the comments down below while you're there. Do you love this phone? Do you like this color? I don't know. Is your favorite phone ever? Do you have one? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're there, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, follow my social networks, Twitter and Instagram. This is Tex Mer talking to you here. Bye.